Annapolis, Maryland. I lived there for over 9 years, and they had that blue sky flooding also, right? Where you get the high tides, they come in, and you've got water in the streets. I had to sometimes take a different route to get to my kids' school to pick them up because they're like, "Oh, the downtown's flooded. Got to go the back way." I think I saw an article recently where that was one of the cities that is most frequently experiencing this. So what's you want to talk about Annapolis for a minute and what's happening there? It's a very
Yeah,
historic town, 300 plus year old buildings and all that kind of stuff.
absolutely. And the area down, the City Harbor area, where some of the historic area is, where some of the flooding is most severe, is also one of the key tourism areas for Annapolis. So there, when you have flooding damage, you have impacts to cultural resources, which are valued by the community and visitors, but you also have some major economic impacts on tourism, and this repeat flooding is expensive. A lot of those tourist shops there are small businesses down there, Main Street kinds of businesses that have these repeated issues that have to be dealt with as a result of this recurrent flooding. The National Trust worked with the city of Annapolis and did, in fact, name Annapolis as a national treasure, and worked for several years on some planning initiatives to help with ways to have responses in place for when flooding happens. But it's going to be a continuing problem. And long term, at Annapolis, in Charleston, Alexandria, Virginia is another place that is experiencing this. It's going to take a lot of funding, a lot of city planning, and really ultimately some federal response to these challenges that are repeating at communities around the country.